This is April Sanchez in Kansas, and um, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure from women's groups for women to dress like this and represent all women. There are so many people depending on you. You have no idea. It okay. If you're feeling pressure to represent an entire group of people, maybe you should be hired to represent those people. Um, I used to be an educator. And when I say educator, I mean substitute teacher. I didn't typically dress like this. I can dress like this. I have one of these in my closet. See, I have a pin. But I didn't typically dress like this to go to work. Why? Well, because of where I was teaching, and because there was no need. It's teaching. It's not a corporate office. This isn't high finance. And I wasn't going to succumb to pressure from people to tell me that I needed to dress like this to read to 4-year-olds or to stand in front of a blackboard and do substitute teaching where you walk in, you're flying by the seat of your pants, and you walk in and you have no idea, you've never met this person. There's lesson plans, you fly by the seat of your pants, you pick up this thing, here's the overhead projector, and you just do. I'm dressed like this today because it's the anniversary of something traumatic that happened. And there was a liberation at the same time. So there was trauma and there was liberation sort of on the same day after years of trauma and years of trauma before that. And however you survive trauma is really up to you. It really is up to you. You don't have to. There's a lot of pressure being put on people, especially women, that you have to try to be Nancy Pelosi or something. In order to be on camera, maybe it's a good idea, a little bit tint on your lips and paint on your face and cheeks or whatever. But there's no need, really, especially if you're homeschooling and you're doing stuff like that, or there's no such thing as an emergency teaching position. I came out to Kansas and I had promised to do some work, which is really funny because I'm disabled. Disabled people can clean up too. They can clean up and look okay. It doesn't mean they're okay. And so the subject of that work was a child. I say was because that's past tense. There's no need to dress like this to read to a 6-year-old. That's just, as a matter of fact, I learned something growing up in New Mexico. If you don't flaunt what you have, no one will want to steal it. And I got a friend who worked for Bell Labs who understood this also. And somebody doesn't want to acknowledge that, this is one thing of me. After I did this kind of thing, I went out and picked up some tools, and I worked on a military base. Um, uh, and I dressed appropriately to do that. I don't know how you can represent all women wearing Carhartts in a ditch or in a high rise, or connecting, wiring switchgear and overhead lights. I just don't know how you're supposed to be this idea of all of womanhood when you're overhead with your arms up in the air, pushing up something very heavy and having to get tools out of your tool belt like a gunslinger. So it's not about dress for success. Depends. It kind of depends. What's your area? Right now, I have no area, so there is no. I can't imagine. All I have to do right now is deal with the trauma of me being me, living my life. I don't know what kind of success anybody would be talking about, because I haven't been approached by anybody to do anything where I would have to wear something like this.